Alright guys, today's goal, the learner will understand how to graph using both vertex and intercept form. So it says graph of vertex form right here. Y equals a times x minus h plus k. Okay. The graph is the parabola y equals ax squared translated horizontally by h units and vertically by k units. So what that means is, well, let's talk about it with this first example. So identify, I know that a is 2, h is negative 1, k is positive 1. See how it says x minus h and it changes to plus here? So that means the h is negative 1, okay? So our vertex is negative 1 comma 1. So graph that, negative 1, 1. And what did we learn yesterday? When a is positive, it means it opens up, so we have a minimum value, okay? The axis of symmetry is x equals h, so we can also say our axis of symmetry, x equals negative 1. Let me scroll this down just a bit. That's better. Okay. So it says graph the function, label the vertex. So there's that. There's v. We know it opens up. So use your calculator to find some values, or just pick a number to the right, a number to the left. So pick 0, plug in x equals 0, y equals 2 times 0 plus 1 squared plus 1. So that's 0 plus 1 is 1. So you'd get 2 plus 1 equals 3. So I can now plot the point 0, 3. And guess what? If you choose negative 2, it's going to be 3. So there's our graph. The vertex, the axis of symmetry. So we have the vertex here, the axis of symmetry here. It opens up. We're good to go. So again, make sure you have paused, copied this stuff down. It is in your book, but you need to have this stuff accessible to you, okay? So let's move on to the next slide. So graph the function, label the vertex, the axis of symmetry. So go ahead, press pause. Identify what A is, what H is, what K is, and try to graph this. So go ahead and press pause. So hopefully you did. And let's see here. We have A is negative 3, H is 2, K is 2. So my vertex, 2, comma 2, my axis of symmetry is x equals 2. So if I go 2, 2, nope, that's 1, 2. Erase that. So if I go 2, 2, draw the axis of symmetry. Now we just need 2 other points. So I'm going to plug in 1 and plug in 3. So if I plug in 1 and calculate it, so you substitute in 1 minus 2 is negative 1 squared. So positive 1 times negative 3 plus 2, you get negative 1. So 1, negative 1. And guess what? If you plug in 3, you're also going to get negative 1. Because the axis of symmetry, if you just fold it over the line, it'll be right there. Okay? So hopefully being able to identify these things and everything is coming pretty easy to you guys right now. That's what we're going for here. So hopefully we will continue with those things going on. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So we covered vertex form. Now we're on intercept form. So go ahead and press pause real quick. Copy everything down here. Okay. Okay, so we got to take a look at this. Let's scooch it up just a skosh. All right, so before I was identifying A, H, K. Now I'm going to identify A, P, and Q because those are what we need to use. It says the x-intercepts are P and Q. So that's going to give us 2 points. Find the average of those and you get the vertex, or you get the x-coordinate of the vertex. So let's take a look here. A is -2. That's not a very good color there, so we'll switch to the black here. So A is -2. P is, see how it says x minus p and this says plus? That means it's a negative. So Q, same thing, negative. So you get an x-intercept at -2. And, oh, read the graph here. Let's look at this. One line means you're moving 2. So you go -2. -4, -6. Now to get the axis of symmetry, x equals P plus Q divided by 2. -2 plus -6 divided by 2, -4. So I now know my axis of symmetry is going right through here. The other thing I know is that's the x-coordinate of the vertex. So plug that in for your x value to be able to find the y-coordinate. So you just go back to the original equation. Multiply it out. So -2 times -4 plus 2 is -2. So -2 times -2, 4. Times 2, 8. So when x was -4, y is 8. So my vertex, -4, 8. 6, 8. So there's our graph. So guys, it's very important to copy these things down because you need to understand how to use them. And notice how A has told us every time, is it opening up or down? Whether it was yesterday with the standard form or with the vertex form or with the intercept form. Okay? Alright, let's move on to the next slide then. Don't know why it's this far off, but that's okay. Alright, graph the function, label the vertex, axis of symmetry, and the x-intercepts. It's also missing something here. This shouldn't just say that, it should say equals y. Okay? Alright, go ahead, press pause. Identify A, P, Q, and try to graph this. So press pause, try to do this one on your own so you know. Are we understanding it, guys? We're gonna be able to do this. So let's rock out, pause, try to do it. Okay, so hopefully you press pause. If you did, you should have gotten A is -1, P is +2, Q is -1. If you didn't get those three things, go ahead and pause now and redo it with the new stuff. Okay? So my 2x intercepts are 2, -1. Then to get my vertex, or my axis of symmetry, the x equals 2 plus -1 divided by 2. 1/2. So that means it's right there. So now we need to plug in that x value and calculate. So calculate that. And you should get 2 1/4 or 9/4 or 2.25. So go up 1, 2, just above it. And since A was -1, you knew it opened down. Okay? So we're moving along good. Let's go on to the next slide. Something happened with this one. All right. Your homework now is to finish this problem, bring it in completed. See you guys tomorrow.